Hello all, and warm welcome to our second focus session hosted by Accenture. I'm really happy that you're joining us to hear more about Sara Kulturhus, the culture house of the future. So Accenture has collaborated together with Sara Kulturhus to create a navigational app using augmented reality that will guide you through your visit at the culture house. This is a true example of technology as an enabler to create a personalized and interactive cultural experience. So what is the Sara Kulturhus? I'm very happy to tell you that we have on link from Skellefteå joining us today, Maria Ekberg Brännst, who is the CEO of Sara Kulturhus. Warm welcome to you, Maria. I hope you will show up here on my screen.
I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you and we cannot see you. I can see myself. How are you today, Maria?
I'm very good. It's all white and the sun is shining.
Yeah, we will give it a few seconds to see if we can get you on the screen as well so we can actually see your lovely face. But I'm really glad that you've chosen to join us to tell us a bit more about the Sara Kulturhus and how your journey and vision has been.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you. So let's see if we can get you here. Otherwise, Maria, I think maybe you could start telling us your vision and how the journey started with Sara Kulturhus, because I believe everyone else can hear her, right? Yes, I see you on another screen, not on mine, unfortunately. But I believe you're in now, so please, Maria, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So welcome to the Culture House of the Future, because that's what Skellefteå's Kulturhus and Hotel stands for, the future. In the middle of central Skellefteå, we are currently building one of the world's tallest wooden building. On this scale, we have not previously built public buildings out of wood. And there has been a necessity to collaborate between different competences to find solutions to completely new challenges. Without co-creation, this house would never have been built. I usually say it's been an elephant birth. The decision to build the house began with citizen dialogues about location and content as early as 2012. An architectural competition was announced in 2016, and the construction started in the spring of 2017. And now we are just a couple of months away from opening the house. We will open the 8th of September this year. It has required a lot of persistence to keep this vision already from the 2012. The Culture House should be a source of power in Skellefteå that is developed through ideas and a creative climate. We work equally and purposefully and are an obvious part of a growing culture activities that affects everyone. We are known for our hospitality, our activities, and our willingness to think new. A culture house for everyone, it's easy to say. But who are everyone and what are their needs of all of them? A colleague of mine who works at the municipality with digitalization asked to take part of the Culture House 3D model. Of course, I said. She told me it was for a group of residents who are dependent on being able to visit the house virtually before visiting the location. Otherwise, they will never visit Sara Kulturhus, she told me. I believe that that was the starting point of my thought process. How can we, with the help of technology, ensure that everyone has the same opportunities to take part in the Culture House, regardless of your needs? And if we solve it for the ones with the biggest needs, would it also then solve it for the rest? That was also the starting point of the cooperation with Accenture. And we named the project My Personal Tool. It should be useful for you and take away the stress factors. And as you can predefine your setting, it is really your personal tool. And apart from being your assisting friend within the house, it allows you also to prepare for your visit, as well as being used as a tool, for example, to do a digital tour with the artist behind an exhibition, for example. We are really looking forward to the opening of Sara Kulturhus and meet our visitor and see how they will start to interact with us, both digital, but also face-to-face.
A lot to you, Maria, for that really inspiring presentation. It was great to hear. And with me here in the studio, I also have Carla Nykopp, the project manager for the work from Accenture side, and Lovisa Bergman, responsible for the partnership with Sara Kulturhus. So warm welcome to you both.
Thank you. Thank you, Fia.
Yeah, and I also want to say, everyone in the chat, please feel free to post any questions you have throughout the sessions, and we will do our best to cover this here. But starting with you, Carla. So what have we from Accenture side done in this project?
Well, we are creating an innovative application that leverages augmented reality to enable our vision. The application should be your best friend in the house, your personal tool, as Maria mentioned. It should not only anticipate your needs, but it should also make the house itself come to life, make the experiences inside of the house come to life. AR is not a new thing, but we believe that AR is not yet used to its maximum potential on the market. I mean, AR has really the potential of becoming an indispensable part of our daily lives, just as the mobile phone has. AR can really enhance efficiency, it can enhance productivity, it can essentially enhance the quality of our user experiences. And that's really what we're doing in this project. With the help of technology and with the help of user-centric design, we aim to create these really delightful and amazing experiences for all the visitors of Sara Kulturhus, no matter what their needs are.
That sounds really amazing, right? So how far have we gotten? Where are we in the project, in the phase right now?
Well, the project itself, it's divided into 3 different phases. The first phase was to do a pre-study with the purpose of, getting to the core of the challenge, creating a vision for the project, coming up with a bunch of ideas on how to solve the challenge, and also creating a proof of concept version of the application to test the actual solution, make sure that it works. The second phase of the project is the implementation of the minimum viable product, and that's the phase where we are at the moment. So we are developing the minimum viable version of the product that provides value for the visitors. One of the example features that we are looking into at the moment is the AR navigation, how users should be able to find their way inside of the house and how we should guide them inside of the house with the help of AR navigation. And then we have the third phase of the project, which is the really exciting part of the project, where we will be looking into these more innovative and, really wow factor features that we discussed in the pre-study. And that phase will continue on until the end of June.
Okay, yeah, so there's still some work to be done now.
Yes,
yeah.
definitely.
What would you say are the key factors for driving the project forward from your side?
I would say it's a combination of 3 things, starting from our co-creative collaboration with Maria and her team. From the very beginning, it was really, really important for us that we do this together with the client. Instead of us delivering the work to the client, we wanted to involve them, invite them to be a part of our creative process. It's even though we are the experts of technology, in the end, the client is the expert of the brand, and it's super, super valuable to include them in the work. And then the second thing is how we pushed ourselves to think different. I mean, every single individual on the team is so very different. It's quite amazing, actually. Every single team member has a different personality, a different mindset, a different perspective and skill set. And that's really how change happen. I mean, change does not happen when you keep putting like-minded in the same room. Change happens when you dare to think different, when you dare to challenge each other, and you take some risks, and really, in the end, it's all about trusting each other and each other's ideas, and that's how we've come up with so many great ideas in our project. And then the third thing is really our mindset that we've had. When we started up this project, it was quite apparent that we could not run this project as a massive, big corporation. We had to have more of a startup mindset. Essentially, or eventually, Saara Kulturhus will only be run by approximately 20 people. That's not a lot. I mean, they will manage the full house, everything around it, and also the application. So it was really, really important for us to find a process that is manageable for the client, not only during the project, but also after the project has been delivered. We made sure that we are super, super adaptable throughout the project. We are really comfortable in making decisions in times of uncertainty. We work in this super fast-paced process, iterative process, where we experiment a lot and learn a lot. We're kind of, building the bike while we are riding it. And it's quite scary at times, but it's also really amazing because it provides a lot of value in such a short amount of time. And it's also quite amazing to see that even though we are such a big company, that doesn't matter. We can also have a startup mindset and, cater to the needs of our clients.
And I think you mentioned a lot of really important factors to succeed in any project, right?
Yes.
That's really great that you managed to put it all into this one. But Lovisa, we have you here as well. Really great to have you. And so how does this work fit into how we work with social sustainability at Accenture, would you say?
Well, so Accenture is one of the world's largest organizations, like many of you know listening in here today. And so essentially, I'm not saying that to really show off in any way or impress you, but really to strengthen the fact that we as such a large corporate organization also have a tremendous social responsibility to ensure that the work that we're doing is delivering impact. And so essentially, the way we see it in Accenture is that we stay true to our core values, our competences, and our skills. And so we are implementing new technologies and we are breaking barriers with innovation, but also trying to deliver social impact. And so the example we have here today is really a flagship program of ours. I have the mission to lead a program that's named Accenture Development Partnerships, and we are working with actors from different sectors. So both the public sector, like Maria and her team at Skellefteå kommun, but also the non-profit sector, international organizations, and foundations. And we are trying to address some of these very complex social and environmental challenges, but also learning really from what the corporate industry is doing to bring in that perspective. So, I mean, in the partnership with Skellefteå kommun, we really try to scale some of those important solutions. And you might think, well, Accenture is not really a development organization or an aid organization. But what we have realized is that there is no one actor that can address all this. We need to collaborate across these sectors. And I actually read in the news the other week that we need to mobilize as much as $3 trillion on an annual basis in order to achieve the UN Sustainable Development Goals in 8 years' time. So that means that large organizations like ourselves, we need to also collaborate towards that target. And that's also how we're seeing ourselves in this partnership together with Skellefteå kommun. We want to be that kind of glue or the link between implementing the technology. And just like Carla mentioned, we've really done that on the basis of social impact. So we are keeping the beneficiaries at the very center of the design. We're addressing different types of needs for people with different backgrounds and different generations. But we're also using an exponential technology for a new purpose, namely augmented reality. And then again, we're collaborating from different sectors, where Maria and the team at Skellefteå bring a set of different skills and competences, and we are complementary side. But we have a very firm idea about what we would like to achieve in this partnership.
No, I mean, partnerships are really important, right? It comes down to tackling these sustainable development goals. But if we connect to this this conference theme, resilience, how would you say that, what role does businesses play in creating resilient systems?
Yeah, I really like that theme actually, because it has really changed in the light of COVID-19. But I would say my personal, and also speaking from Accenture side, I mean, businesses plays a really important role in achieving resilient future societies and structures. But it needs to be a different type of business than what we have traditionally been referring to. It cannot be a one single value or shareholder value driven business, but rather a stakeholder driven business. So that's why we are trying to collaborate with bringing some of these large corporations together as well. I mean, today we are seeing that Microsoft and Amazon, they have higher turnover than individual countries' GDP. So we cannot simply ignore them. We need to rather understand what are the kind of assets and what are the skills that they can use in order to deliver impact together. So that's why we and our teams at Accenture are trying to solve some of these challenges. How can we, for example, use AR to create an inclusive cultural experience? Or how can we use, let's say, a blockchain infrastructure to develop the future plastic recycling systems? Or now in the light of COVID-19, can we use the supply chain infrastructure to distribute the vaccine? That's just an example of the variety of questions we are working with. And again, in order to scale those solutions, we need to also build our partnerships on trust. And that is what has been extremely characteristic in the partnership with Skellefteå kommun. From day one, we have been able to work as a startup. We have been taking a very flexible and fluid approach. We have co-created ideas, piloted, test, run. And that's really something I think we need more in the future, collaboration, more than ever, actually.
Yeah, really good points. And Maria, back to you on the collaboration. How has the response been from Skellefteå kommun on this?
I think when we gathered the team, I wanted to have different points of view, like Lovisa talked about how important that is. And the effect of this, as I did not see coming, but I'm happy for it, is that we have realized that if we gather together with different point of view or different mindsets, we will achieve a lot more. So now I think everyone is talking about how can we work together, regardless of the topic or who it belongs to. How can we gather people with different knowledge and different points of view to really make sure that the projects we are doing are reaching much further.
Thank you, Maria, for that. And going over to you, Carla, like what would you say have been the main sources of inspiration throughout this journey?
The main sources of inspiration, I would say we took a lot of inspiration from the gaming industry, actually, how they work there, and especially for the AR experiences that we wish to develop. But we also took a lot of inspiration from our childhood memories. So during the pre-study, during our ideation sessions, we talked a lot about these amazing, memories that we had during our childhood, the imaginative stories that we read about, the fairy tales and maybe some theaters that you joined, some movies that you watched, and really how excited everyone felt about those. So that's something that we have really incorporated in some of the ideas that we wish to implement. And then talking about the technical inspiration, well, it actually generated from a conference that one of our app lead developers participated in already a couple of years ago. So as mentioned earlier, AR has been around for quite some time, but he remembered when we were looking at these different solutions, he remembered a conference regarding Azure, spatial anchors, that he really, wanted to go back into and really thought about, can we use some of those tools in our solutions? And now when we revisited that conference and all the insights that we got from that, we really saw that it has evolved so much and that there's a lot of inspiration that we can take into this project.
Good. Yeah, you can really search inspiration in different places, right? And it's cool how you can tie it into what you're actually doing. But Lovisa, coming back to you, this is only one example of how we work with exponential technology, such as augmented reality, within the social sustainability agenda for Accenture. Do we have any other examples that you would like to bring up?
Wow, I could go on forever, but actually I can start with one recent project we have done together with the Finnish Red Cross in order to support and improve the voluntary rescue services that they are running. So essentially, the Red Cross, they are working together with the Finnish state to identify and search for missing people. And traditionally, the way that it's being done is that they're mobilizing a network of volunteers that then goes out in the forest or on the fields to search for these missing people. However, we have co-designed and developed a new type of innovation, which is a camera-equipped drone that is using computer vision and an AI algorithm in order to detect any variances that potentially then could warrant human attention. So these variances can then be a missing person that they're searching for. So the real business case is really that it, of course, decreases the lead time to detect this person and also the number of volunteers that are being needed. And I think it's particularly interesting from the angle that it can be scaled to other system challenges. You can use it to detect wildfires or potentially detect illegal fishing at sea and other type of use cases. But then another one that comes to my mind now that we've been speaking about augmented reality is a learning application that we have developed together with Save the Children. So Save the Children, they realized that the unemployment rates in Vietnam is increasing terribly at the moment. So they wanted to develop a modern type of project that can inspire these youth, and particularly out-of-school youth, to search for a future job. So we have developed a mobile application that is using both augmented reality, just like in the case with Sara Kulturhus, but also virtual reality and avatars to inspire these youth for different type of workplace situations. So they are being exposed to almost like a 360 environment where they can practice different job situations. For example, public speaking or running an interview in front of other people, or actually trying to explore some more of the simple works within the hospitality and retail industry. So this again is another example of how we can use transformational technology to deliver change and impactful.
Yeah, there's quite a full list of things you can do, right? I saw we just got a question from the audience on, is the AR experience something they can access already now? And where can we get more information about the project? Do we have that?
Unfortunately, not yet, but very soon. So the first release is planned to be sometime during summer. So after that, all of you can take a part of this amazing experience and hopefully visit the house as well. It's so amazing. So really recommend to visit it and the whole experience.
Yeah, that's over to you, Maria. So when can we actually come to visit?
Well, everything from the 8th of September, you're welcome. Then we open the doors.
Perfect. Thank you, Maria, for that. And I hope that you all in this session are very excited to go visit the Sara Kulturhus and also try out the interactive app. And with that said, we've now reached the end of this session. If you have any further questions, do jump into our session discussion room that you find just by clicking session discussion room on the right of our stream now. Maria and Carla and Lovisa will all join you there in a couple of minutes. So feel free to continue with your discussions and questions there. I want to really thank you, Maria, for attending this session with us today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and also, of course, big thank you to Lovisa and Carla for coming and telling us more about this, and for everyone interactive and asking questions. And then I just want to say that we have another focus session, our third focus session, that will start a little bit later, focusing on diversity topics and the question on how to keep women in the tech industry. So I really hope that you would continue following us and join this session. Thank you very much and goodbye.